back to my channel and welcome back to Vlogmas. So as you might see, I'm a little bit more dolled up than usual. Today I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this festive Christmas party, Christmas day, whatever day, Tuesday makeup look. Let me know what you think of it in the comments, and if you are interested in recreating it or how I did it, then please keep watching. Okay, so first step that I'm going to do is I'm just going to prime my face using this primer. This is La Cura Vita Base Moisturising Primer, and this one is from Aldi. It's supposed to be the dupe of the Bobbi Brown face base. It definitely smells like it. I talk about this every time I do anything with my makeup on my channel. I talk about how amazing it smells because, quite frankly, I'm obsessed. So yeah, I'm just going to prime my face with that, just so we've got a nice base. I did do my skincare prior to coming on camera, so I've cleansed, toned, put my serum on, moisturised, and now I'm just doing my primer, and then we're going to let that sit and really sink into the face. I always find that having a good base is the absolute foundation to having good makeup. So the more skincare and things that you do generally before applying foundation, the smoother it goes on, the longer it lasts. These are just kind of my personal experiences with it, so yes. Next, for my foundation, I'm just going to be going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. This is in the shade 5 Neutral. So I do actually usually use the, which one is it? The one from Aldi, but I haven't got any false tan on, so it's a little bit dark for me, so I'm just going to be using this one instead, just because it matches me a little bit better when I haven't got any false tan on. So I'm just going to pop that in all on my face. And I'm using the Marshmallow Sponge from Coco Cosmetics by Chloe. This is like the absolute bomb when it comes to applying your makeup. I used to just use like any generic sponges, but I've never seen one that was like quite this big. Although I do believe that other makeup companies have been copying, because Chloe, who started her business, I believe by gaining traction through TikTok. So she was very much a small business, but now she sells on Beauty Bay, and you can get her products all over the place. So it's nice to see somebody start from the bottom, and it's a real shame that larger companies are trying to steal ideas from small businesses. We all know where it came from. So just putting that all into my skin, making sure we get up the hairline and into kind of the ears to make sure we don't have those harsh lines. Next, I'm just grabbing my concealer, which is this one, and it is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I just fancied a bit of a change, and so I thought I'd give this one a go, and I'm just going to put it under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, in this part of my forehead, on my chin, and then above my lip. So I use this kind of not only to conceal, but also to highlight certain areas of my face and just give it a little bit more depth. So it's like the other part of doing the contour. So obviously you've got your bronzer, which I'll be doing next, and then the concealer kind of adds to it as well. Also just using my viewfinder, so if you wonder why I'm looking kind of to the side, I don't actually have a mirror on me, so I'm using my viewfinder for this, which is not ideal, but never mind. And this is what it's looking like. Absolutely love this foundation. I feel like it gives my skin a nice glow. And then my contour, as always, is the Barry M contour stick. This is the one that I use. It does come in a set with another stick, which is a lighter one, if you want to use like a stick concealer, but I prefer to just use the bronzer, and I'm just popping that down my cheekbones and then on top of my forehead, under there, just to try and disguise a little bit of the double chin. And then I'm actually going to grab a mirror for this, because otherwise it's going to be a disaster. And I'm just going to do it down my nose like that. So that's my contour kind of routine is not nearly as much as like you would see a makeup artist do. I like to just very much do the basics, just to kind of give my face a little bit of depth. And then I'm just going to use the rear side of this sponge. This is also from Coco Cosmetics by Chloe, and I'm just using the other side to what I did for the concealer, and I'm just going to press that into my skin, and this just sort of creates a few shadows and enhances your natural contour. So I feel like when you put foundation on, it can very much like drown out your natural contour, and this just kind of puts it back in place. I feel like I'm talking as if I know like in depth what I'm talking about, but I really don't. So I'm not by any shape or form a makeup artist, but this is kind of what I find works for me. And then the bits at the top I find just kind of add a little bit of depth for the forehead. I think it's supposed to make it look smaller, but I'm not sure if that actually works. But again, it's just kind of creating a shadow in the hairline. And then I'm just going to go in with my blush, which is this one that I've got from Technic, and this is in the shade 2. It's a liquid blusher, which I was very skeptical about, not gonna lie, before I got it. You literally only need to use the tiniest bit to get a beautiful blush from this. So I use the teeny tiniest bit on the apples of my cheeks, and then a little dot in the middle on my nose, and then I'm just gonna use the bottom of this sponge. You can see where it's been done before, and I'm just gonna blend that in. So that blush has lasted me what feels like forever because, like I say, you only need a teeny little bit and it goes really far. And there is the blush and the concealer now blended out. So next I'm just going to set my face. Now I do have quite an oily complexion, so setting my face is absolutely vital. Otherwise I end up just like an oily mess. And I use the Revolution banana powder. This is the, well, it's all you can see how long I've had this. It's all worn off, but it's basically like a loose powder. And I find that a loose powder lasts way longer than a set powder, but I do tend to take a set powder out with me, and I just dip the concealer side of the sponge, and then let me show you what this does. Actually, let me zoom in and I'll show you what this does because it's amazing. So as you can see before, for my under eyes, and I'm just going to do this one first and then just pop it under, and it just blurs everything. Look at the difference in my face. Honestly, this is, I can't believe I didn't discover this sooner. So I tend to concentrate more on my under eyes, down my nose, on my chin, just kind of the places where I tend to get like oily the most. So like mostly my T-zone. Let's just watch the transformation on my forehead. Blurred. Absolutely blurred. This is my absolute favourite. So I just basically put that all over my face, but I don't use as much on kind of like my cheeks because I do want to have them, I do want them to have a little bit of a glow. So I'll concentrate most of it on kind of the areas like I said before, and then just kind of with what's left, I'll just kind of dab it around and use the excess around the rest of my face. I'm not even kidding you. This makeup will now last me all night. I still take a pressed powder just in case, but on the times where I've done this over the last couple of months, I've never had to use it. Let's move that to where it should be. What side does that go on? This side. Oh god. There we go. So let's move on to the eyes and the eyebrows, and this is where kind of the Christmas party or Christmas day or whatever kind of, whenever you want to dress up, do your makeup nice. This is the part where the eyes come in. So for the eyes, the palette that I'm going to be using is this one from Smashbox. I've had this for what feels like forever, and it's got all these beautiful kind of shimmery, Christmassy. I love this colour. So pretty, and I'm just going to be using this palette because I'm very much like I know that I see a lot of makeup artists use this palette, this palette, this palette, and I like everything to be in one palette just because it's easier. So yeah, we're going to use this palette, and on my main lid I'm just going to be using this colour in the corner, a nice kind of glittery gold with a light shimmer. The brush I'm going to be using for it is this one from Elle. It's just a flat brush, so it's very easy to apply on your lid. Tap away the excess, and then we're just going to pop it all over the lid. It's this gorgeous kind of goldy bronze shimmer. I seem to remember when I was like just starting to get into makeup, the thing to do before all this kind of like blending out and everything came into my life, I would literally take my finger and just go and go out. And this would be my makeup. I'm then just going to use a fluffy brush like this, again from Elle. I think this was in a gift set actually, and I'm just going to go in. So I'm actually going to go in with this colour here, which I know is quite dark, but I'm just going to very, very lightly put it on. So I'm not going to put a lot on my brush at all. So I'm just going to dab it like that, get rid of the excess, and then we're going to, again, very lightly until you can kind of gauge how much you've got on your brush, blend it into the crease of your eye. This just kind of separates the main eyelid from your brow bone and also helps to blend it out so that you haven't got just a block of colour, and then even add a little bit more colour if you feel like you need to. So I've done that, I'm then going to go in with the dark colour on the end, again very, very lightly, because sometimes if I put too much on my brush and then I put it on, I look like I've been punched. So I'm going to switch my brushes, and this one is from Sigma. It is another flat brush like that, but it's a little bit more fluffy, so it's going to kind of help me blend it out at the same time. And I'm just going to pop that on my brush, tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to place it on. I'm not going to kind of go straight in with the, yeah, see, that looks horrendous, but just wait. Just place it on the thing and then start to give it a dab. And then I'm just going to go in with this brush from Sigma, which is this is actually a angled fluffy brush. I'm just going to blend this whole thing out and kind of drag it across at the same time. I also feel like whenever I do my eyes, it always looks horrendous until I've got lashes on. I don't know what it is, but see, if I were to look at my eyes like this, you're probably watching this thinking, Jess, that looks horrendous. I promise. When you start putting your mascara and your lashes and things on, it will get better. Please bear with. Like I say, I'm not a professional. This might not be at all the way that you apply makeup, but this is how I do it. If I'm going out or if I'm going to an event, I just basically wing it and just keep blending until I think it looks okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take, it's kind of like almost like a pointed fluffy brush, and I'm going to take this crease colour that I used before, and I'm just going to drag it along there, not in my waterline, but just underneath, just to kind of keep the colour under, so it's kind of a little bit like a liner, but I'm only going to go to halfway. And I feel like when I do this, it kind of gives the makeup look, it's just something a little bit extra. So it's not just like a plain old eyeshadow, etc. It is also your eyeliner, and it matches exactly on the top. Also worth mentioning that I am absolutely horrendous at doing liquid eyeliner, so I very, very rarely do it, and if I do, I usually end up taking it off. So yeah, and there we go. So that is the eyeshadow done. Next, I'm going to be moving on to my lashes. So I think I've actually mentioned this before on my channel, but it is the mascara from Pretty Little Thing. And I love this because the actual brush on it, looks like that. And I really feel like it separates your lashes really well. And we're just using this as a base layer because I'm going to be putting false lashes on. So I'm just using it as a base layer. Because I've got such fair eyelashes naturally, it's good to have some colour on them so that they don't stand out when you've got your false eyelashes on. I've also just remembered that I forgot to do my eyebrows, so we're going to do that now. And I'm going to be using this Brow Pro Micro. This is from Rimmel, and I like this because it's got a little spoolie on it, so you can use that to brush your brows. And then this is really, really small, and it means that you can get some really good precision for where you're doing it. So all I do with this is I kind of just use it just to fill in any gaps. Nothing too major. And just kind of tidy the brow up a bit. Then I'm just going to use the brush side just to brush that through and just to make it all kind of blend together. Okay, so for my false lashes, these are the ones that I'm going to be using. They are Boots' own ones. These are Lashes Volume, and they are the Saskia ones. I'm going to use my usual trick where I cut them in 3 and then stick them under my lashes because I find that they last longer like that. But these aren't, I don't think I've actually used these lashes before, but anything that has that kind of wispy texture to them, they're a bit of me. So that's the ones I'm going to be using. And then to get the glue on, I'm just going to put it on top of the band so that it's sticking to your eyelash, and then stick them on like that, but I'll show you in more depth. Okay, so I've cut up my lashes and this is what it looks like. I don't know how I can kind of show you without tipping them all off, but basically I've popped the lash glue on top of the band, as you can see, and then this is the lash glue that I've been using. So this has to be my absolute favourite lash glue ever. Forget any other lash glue that comes with various sets of lashes. These ones came with a different set. Dual lash glue is made to last. It is my absolute favourite, as I've already said. But so that is the glue that I'm using, and then just to kind of show you how I do this, let me grab a mirror. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the lash and I'm going to put it underneath my eyelash like this. If you're going to try this, make sure that you're putting it on the actual eyelash and not on your waterline, because that's not where lashes go. So it's literally the same as you would do on top. You put it on the lashes, so you're not risking any kind of eye infection, because it is not actually going in your eye, it's going directly onto the lashes. I've got to say, the phrase practice makes perfect is definitely accurate when it comes to this. So it took me a very persistent, maybe 3 weeks to try and get this right, but now that I'm used to it, it's a lot easier to get on, and I just kind of find that these last. Let me just go to the other eye and I'll show you what they look like. So this is what the final lashes look like. Now obviously the glue is still drying, so you can still see a little bit of that, but I kind of find that when you do them this way, they give almost like a lash extension kind of look to them, because when I look down, you can't see the band of the eyelash as you would if you were to put them on top. You can usually see quite a thick band, but when you put them underneath, you can't see that band. So it almost gives like a lash extension look, and once the glue's dried, they just look absolutely flawless. They're my absolute favourite part of my makeup routine, and they do generally last me quite a number of days. And then I'm just going to go back in with the Pretty Little Thing mascara and just do my bottom lashes, and that is the eyes done. So now I feel like this is probably the main event, so the lipstick. Now this lipstick I only ever get out during the festive period. It's my favourite Christmas lipstick, and it's this one from MAC, and it is in the shade New York Apple, and I always get comments on this, but how gorgeous is that colour? It's a very festive red, and like I say, I only bring this out during Christmas time because it is my absolute favourite. Unfortunately, I don't have a liner to go with it. Maybe that's something that I need to ask Santa for, but I'm just going to freehand it. And I like as well, because it's a frost one, so you know you can get like matte lipstick, satin lipstick. This is a frost one. I find that it's a lot easier to get it where you need, because it just kind of moves about. And if you make a mistake with going over the lines, you can't really notice, which I think with a lot of reds you can. Like if you don't stick to your lip line, it can be very obvious if a red lip has travelled. But this one, I feel, because it's got that texture, you can't really tell. And then this is the final look. So I hope that you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of my evening all glammed up with nowhere to go. Because I filmed this video without having any kind of Christmas party to go to, but that doesn't matter. Sometimes we like to get dressed up for no reason. So yes, I am just going to end this video here. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you try this look, or if you're going to any Christmas parties. Let me know. And yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please give it a thumbs up. Go hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Bye guys. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.